Blinken says Washington had neither information on nor involvement in exploding pages and in Lebanon and Syria. Blinken insists that the US remains committed to a diplomatic resolution on the conflict.
The United States did not know about, nor was it involved in these incidents, and we're still gathering the information and gathering the facts. Broadly speaking, we've been very clear, and we remain very clear, about the importance of all parties avoiding any steps that could further escalate the conflict that we're trying to resolve in Gaza, to see it spread to other fronts. It's clearly not in the interest of anyone involved to see that happen. And that's why, again, it's imperative that all parties refrain from any actions that could escalate the conflict.
I speak now to Nizar Farsah, who's a lecturer of international affairs at George Washington University. He joins us now live from Washington. Welcome to the program. So much has happened in the past 24 hours. Your reaction to the extraordinary developments in Lebanon these past 2 days?
Well, definitely a very dangerous escalation. It was already bad enough. The first set of explosions, which I'm sure was a very big surprise for Hezbollah, they weren't ready for it. The second set is even more dangerous, which means, like in some respect, Hezbollah is definitely going to take a pause to figure out what's the problem and fix it before taking action, which means we are most probably going to have some calm, but definitely there is going to be a big response from Hezbollah. This is a very big escalation.
And what do you expect that response from Hezbollah to be? Because this, of course, impacts Lebanon as well, the country, and we've heard that they have many times said that they do not want an all-out war.
That's correct. Neither Hezbollah nor the Israeli military want a full-out war. They want a low-intensity conflict. So most probably Hezbollah is going to aim for a strategic intelligence or a military asset in Israel. In the past, Hezbollah was famous for actually having the phone numbers of a very big number of key officers in the Israeli military. So maybe something similar, a cyber attack or a physical attack on intelligence, I would presume, because it was an intelligence failure on the Hezbollah side.
And just, Nizar, you know, we've seen some very strong statements made by Israel with regards to what's next. Israel's defense minister saying that the center of gravity of the war was moving north and we are at the start of a new phase in the war. What do you read into those statements?
It means the Israeli military finally realized or accepted, let's say, that there are no more any military actions they could take in Gaza that have any military significance, and therefore they can keep a lid on Gaza while focusing now on the north, on the Hezbollah front. And for that, they definitely prepared the ground by killing some key regional officers, especially the two main. There are 3 legions in South Lebanon that Hezbollah that controls the south, that Hezbollah uses to control the south. 2 of their leaders were assassinated. In addition to the main officer or general, in fact, that is responsible for the rocket systems. So that helps Israel have a bit of an advantage when a full-scale operation happens. And now with the attacks on the communication systems, that is going to lessen by a great extent Hezbollah's command structure. So that would make it much more opportune for Israel to take operations for which Hezbollah would not have an effective response, at least not rapidly.
So just very briefly, just to clarify what you said, this was an intelligence failure, and now you really feel that this would have an impact on Hezbollah's command structure?
Yes, which would mean if the Israeli military would want to take advantage of it sooner rather than later. That now Hezbollah has less capacity, and therefore that's when they can take advantage of that.
That's an important point, Nizar. Thank you so much for your analysis and your time. Thank you, Nizar Farsah. Appreciate it so much.
Sure.
All right, let's continue on this subject. And Van Megerdichan is a Lebanese policy analyst and joins us now live from Beirut. Welcome to the program on this very sad 2 days for your country. Just how do you see the potential retaliation of Hezbollah for the region, for Lebanon, your country, and also regionally? And we just heard there from my previous guest saying that this was an intelligence failure and this could have an impact on Hezbollah's command structure, something that Israel would want to use sooner rather than later.
Good evening. Listen, these are difficult days, but Lebanon has been living through these days for the past 10 months or so since Hezbollah decided to take the country to war and, basically drag the country into a conflict in the Middle East that is raging since 7th of October. The Hezbollah command might be heard, definitely, but, what retaliation are we talking about if basically we are not on the same page with Hezbollah as a country of Lebanon, the people, the government? I just heard the telecommunications minister say 2 hours ago that all these communication devices that are exploding are not imported through the legal means. They are not approved by the state. They are not approved by the government. These are not weapons. These are not missiles. These are not, big technological breakthroughs that Hezbollah wants to hide them from the Lebanese state. These are like old, outdated communication tools that Hezbollah, had they complied with the Lebanese rules and the Lebanese state, they could have imported them through legal means.